Hey guys, welcome back to the Movement Project. It's episode 44. So what we're going to work on today is some hip extra rotation. I mentioned before that I have a hard time myself sitting in Indian style. If you can see my squat position, you can see that extra rotation of the hip with aligned feet is an important position for any CrossFitter. So what we're going to do first is do a banded distraction mobility drill. I'm going to step inside the band, put it all the way up by my upper thigh, come all the way down, get my leg into my hip in extra rotation. You can see that for me, I have to kind of tuck my heel in towards my hip. Now for someone with a little bit more advanced mobility, they might be able to get the tibia straight ahead, perpendicular to the femur. But what I'm going to do is tuck in. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to try to shift my hips and rotate my left hip as close to the ground as I can, making sure that my hips are squared off. Once I can get that position and breathe into it, and kind of move in and out of it, oscillate, contract, relax, I can also add a little bit of rotation. What that's going to do is allow me to square my hips a little bit and even immobilize from my T-spine as I go through the hip mobility drill. All right, so I'll do 10 reps there, and then I'll go ahead and switch sides and do the other side. When I get done with that banded distraction, my femur's kind of opened up, my hips are a little bit more open. I'm going to get myself into what looks like a hurdler stretch, but actually take my ankle down onto my opposite knee, lay all the way back. I'm driving both of my knees as close to the ground as I possibly can in this position. And as you can see, with my ankle taped over that knee, I'm going to go from one movement where I have one hip internally rotated, the opposite externally rotated, and then flip and try to rotate my hips the complete opposite direction. So that way I'm going to get my opposite hip in internal rotation. So I'm going to kind of go from one rep to the next. Everything that we do is always dynamic. You're going to do 10 on one side and then switch. Internal, external, drop down, try to drive this leg as close to the ground as you possibly can. If you notice that one is harder than the other, make sure to focus on asymmetries. When you get done with that whole sequence, banded distraction, 10 reps on each as I rotate, and I'm going to go through that internal, external rotation in the hurdler position, and then I go back to the squat, retest, and see if I have a little bit better external rotation of the hip. All right, that's your prescription for the day. Good luck.